Hey, good morning everyone, and welcome to ShortSalePowerHour.com. My name is Fred Weaver. We got the whole gang here today.
That's right.
This is my partner, Kevin Kauffman. This is Coach Collard.
Get your horns up.
We're with Group 4610, Arizona's premier short sale team. So today happens to be one of those forgettable Fridays.
It is forgettable.
And you know what? We spent actually quite a bit of time this week talking about homeowner advocacy and doing things on behalf of the customer.
Yeah.
And I'd like to just talk around the fact that there are other people in the industry that aren't doing that. And the purpose of this episode is not to throw people under the bus. While part of me would like to hold them accountable here and name them, I'm not going to. I just am going to talk around the subject.
Let's just expose the situation.
At the end of the day, there's some people out there that are doing shady stuff, and then there's some people that just don't know any better. And so rather than make my judgment on this particular situation, because I don't know this individual, let's just talk around where it's missing the mark. How about that?
That's a good place.
So I'll tee it up, and then I'm going to hand it off to you guys.
Let's talk about the agents out there, too, that'll run into this and not know that it's happening.
Yes, well, yeah, this is all part of homeowner advocacy, as well as the agent needs to be looking out for their client. Okay. Absolutely. So we have a situation where a member of our team in our office was writing an offer on a short sale.
Right.
A short sale not listed and negotiated by us. And they went under contract, fully executed, meaning buyer and seller signed it, completely done deal, right?
Right.
And the contract that they wrote actually did allow the seller or listing agent to accept multiple offers, which is not part of our system, but the addendum they used did allow that. Okay.
Sure.
However, it was disclosed to them in advance that there had been a previous contract on this home that it had canceled, and that it was a approved short sale that just needed to be reapproved.
It was
point number one.
Canceled contract. Yeah, here's red flag number one: is we've got somebody out there advertising that there's an approved short sale.
Yeah.
You don't actually have an approved short sale until you've got an offer that goes to the bank and you get an approval letter back stating
for that offer.
For that buyer specific contract
buyer specific is key.
Right.
So there's absolutely key number one. Now, number two, several days after the contract was signed, actually one day, excuse me. So the contract was signed on April 20th, and on April 21st, an addendum was sent over.
Yeah.
Addendums, as we all know in the industry, are, you can sign them or not. It's not a counteroffer. A contract had already been executed.
Right.
So this was an addendum, and the addendum said buyer and seller acknowledge that a $3,000 fee will be paid to blank.
Let's call him investor.
Let's call him Mr. Investor.
Okay.
The previous buyer, that's what Mr. Investor is, the previous buyer, in consideration for withdrawing his purchase contract to allow new buyer, to become the first position buyer with first right of refusal to any lender changes or negotiations. So,
hold on. These contradict. We have a fully executed contract over here for our buyer.
Correct.
New buyer.
Correct.
Let's call her buyer 2.
Okay.
Okay, and now in my right hand we have something called an addendum stating that buyer number 1, which was advertised on the MLS,
yes,
over phone and via email, that isn't even around anymore, is now stating that buyer number 1 would like $3,000 from buyer number 2
for just being there,
for just having written a contract before.
Yeah.
And if you really follow the language here, this says for withdrawing. Now, this makes me sound like it hasn't happened yet.
Correct.
This says it already has happened because you're fully executed.
The contract was canceled and you got to fully execute.
Right.
Correct. Now, again, I acknowledge that the contract we executed says multiple offers could be out there.
It was
I
great.
acknowledge that.
It was great.
But why in the world is this being sent over in an addendum after the fact? So, Coach, you've got lots of investment short sale experience. That's actually where I first learned to do short sales.
Yep.
Talk to us around this.
Really good job.
Because we don't have a problem with people making money. That's not what this episode's about. I don't have a problem with an investor making money. Not my problem.
Yeah. No.
I have a problem with the way in which it was done and the disclosure that was done here.
Right. So here's the deal. This $3,000 assignment, if you will, you could call it that.
That's
not really what it's called, but
yeah.
It's wholesaling at its classic example. You write a contract, you go through the process, somebody else wants to buy the property, you have rights to the contract, right? That's just basic capitalism. I applaud that.
Sure, that's
the miss is the contradiction with the contracts. Fully executed contract and the statement of our previous buyer backed out, well, that's not happening here. So there's a complete contradiction. Now, let me set it for all the real estate agents and the homeowners out there in the community, because short sales get such a bad rap about things. Part of the deal is because we've taken some investors that think creatively, which is where we come from.
Sure.
I'm
right?
all about creative.
And then you've got traditional box real estate, which is a gazillion-dollar business worldwide, right? Mm-hmm. Nothing wrong with either one of them. But when you mix them, they don't mix like this. They mix like this. It's like water and oil.
Yeah.
Right.
Because the concepts that these guys are practicing, they don't practice disclosure and full disclosure the way we've been trained to from the box. Does that make sense? I think that's like the one positive that the box has ever like just established for us.
Exactly.
Well, disclose.
And let me, okay, so in that addendum, it talks about somebody having to withdraw an offer. Now, again, like I said, now this is not how we normally do our short sale addendums,
Right.
like on our listings, but on this on the contract that was made by buyer 2 and the seller, okay?
Right.
It actually states in this addendum that the seller has to submit all contracts that they accept here to their creditor.
Right.
So inherently, here's a problem. Now they're saying, well, we're not going to submit yours. There's somebody in first position.
Yeah, we have positions.
And we're not going to submit yours, which completely, now we're actually into a contractual.
Now we're in a breach of contract.
Now we have a breach of contract going on here.
Contract.
Now, when we questioned the particular agent and negotiator around it, now I'm not so sure the agent really knows what's going on. They've got somebody negotiating it.
Well,
the
negotiator,
negotiator,
though.
well, yeah, that's a whole nother story.
I'm guessing they do know it's. Okay, maybe I'm jumping to conclusions.
So let me just read
Kevin.
this. We had an investor offer. This is from the I believe the negotiator, who, as Kevin might have mentioned, might be related to the listing agent.
Well, they have the same last name. I'm not saying they're related.
Okay.
Total supposition.
They have the same last name. That's a coincidence or not? I don't know.
So we had an investor offer that came in and allowed us to postpone the foreclosure and request a value review. That investor has first right of refusal and said we could keep the property listed as he has an equitable and marketable title contract.
Oh, you got.
Although his lower
Hold on.
offer was not accepted, he is still under contract and has the right to increase his offer to get the lender what they need. He also has the right to market his interest in that contract. Huh?
Okay, hold on. How can you have interest in a contract and interest in a property, which you have to have marketable title, not marketable interest in a contract?
Yeah, he has no
marketable title contract. That's a new one for me.
Right?
No,
I've been known to just make stuff up, but that's a new one.
What's that guy's last? Wow.
For those of you guys out there going, well, you guys just don't get it. No, we really do.
We
get that the investor may have taken title of the property, but that title has not been recorded yet at the recorder's office. Therefore, it's not recognized and it's truthfully not valid.
No. Right.
So at the end of the day, this is all a big smoke screen, and nobody. Here's my problem. Nobody's looking out for the homeowner.
Yeah, no.
Can we just talk about that right now?
Yes.
Like, who cares about the investor trying to make money? Nobody's looking out for the homeowner.
Right. This guy right here is worried about his $3,000. Great. I'm in business to make money too, but you put your $3,000 over and above helping your seller avoid foreclosure, because we've got a fully executed contract right here
with
of somebody who's ready, willing, and able to close the deal at the purchase price listed on the contract.
Yeah, no, that contract's not in the name of buyer 1 or Mr.
No,
Investor.
it's actually in the name of the seller, which just totally debunks what they're saying. So guys, where's the seller in this?
So does
she know?
Time out. You're right. The seller's probably the
we probably need to wind it down.
But
so
that's okay. Where are we at on time, brother? Okay, we're good. So here's really where we're getting at, Fred, and this is an opportunity for you. You were reading that. And you read equitable title contract and marketable title
equitable and marketable title contract.
Title contract. He's not saying they have title. He's saying they have a title.
We have a contract for title.
That's basically an investor conflicting with agency.
I get it.
Again, it's getting back to nobody's watching out in that transaction for the homeowner.
Well, you know what? You could make the case that they're still trying to help the homeowner. I'm not trying to say they're absolutely not, but I'm going to say that this is not the highest and best agency relationship that you could have with your homeowner.
Absolutely.
So you could make the case, well, no, we are helping the seller. We postpone their sale date. You could make that case. But at the end of the day, you're really not helping the homeowner because you truthfully haven't done everything in your power to get the deal closed. You're trying to make
they're trying to make money.
Classic blatant misrepresentation.
Yeah. Yep. We'll cover this in some later episodes, but I hope you guys can see that we need to be watching out for the homeowner, guys, and profitability comes after that at the end of the day.
Yep. Well, when you actually do that, profitability just follows it.
So. I like that. On 3.
1,
2,
3.
Short sale power hour! Short sale power hour! Crush it! There was some weird clapping going on.